Welcome back, friends. We're here for episode 25 of Stars Without Numbers Revised, Shipbreakers. We're following the crew of the LAS Golden Goose as they find out, in response to everything they've done. We have a man and his father in an elevator, and we have a man and his robot in a truck going to the central government complex. There's a lot of conspiracies. There's a lot of octagonal shapes. What could it all mean? Where is it all going? I guess we'll find out in today's episode. So let's talk about goals.
Well,
Dunamis tried to spoil me for what his goal was. I ripped my headset off. Because he wants to know what my reaction will look like live based on what he's about to say. So go ahead.
Well, because I feel like your reaction would tell us how much shit we're in for this episode. But
I'm a trained actor, trained being extremely operative.
So my proposed goal is for Van-Vee to get his mom and dad together, find Zach and Allie, and get the entire family to safety.
Okay.
I don't like that response.
I have a question for you.
That was very trained actor of you.
It was.
Well, I'm about to KainDamael you. What would you consider safety to be?
It's funny. I thought this might happen too, where it's like if they're all put in a prison cell and they're safe, is that still considered safety? I think.
What do you mean when you say safety?
There's no threat to, I guess, bodily or mental harm. Mental, I'm throwing out there because I don't really know what y'all's capable of, but they're not like being threatened or going to have guns pointing at them or something like that.
I think it's very wise to be wary of what y'all is capable of. What about the rest of you? We need a crew goal. Unless you want to keep it, get Carlito as an ally. Always a great goal now that you've ghosted him.
I feel like we had a real imminent reason to bypass and go directly here, given that we had the Vostro family representative and there was a rather dire situation. So I think he could be persuaded that it would be fine. So yeah, I think that could still be a valid crew goal. It would be very easy
if you had just called him and told him why you weren't showing up when you said that you were immediately going to show up ASAP.
I feel like punishing us for...
And you were literally told that there is a berth waiting for you at the space station.
Now when you say
something of that nature,
you agree. Do you mean you as in AP, you as in Carlito, you as in...
The thing is, I don't have to answer those questions.
No. Every time you say you didn't pay for those cards on the intro, I'm like, somehow this ties back to something I've asked.
It's not always about you to do this. It's like when two intro hours ago where I said, now I know people are going to automatically assume I'm talking about them. I'm not. Dunamis immediately goes, he's talking about me.
This is true.
What were you going to say, Ludemann?
Quentin's goal might be, direct. I want to get that proposal in front of this prime minister. It was originally possibly through Sophie, now through potentially MINERVA. That's an immediate, easy goal that I think is there. But
your last goal is try to get a meeting with Jace Bronwyn. Is it now try to get a meeting with Bryce Cullington?
I say that's a thing that Bryce Cullington. I guess. Partially get a meeting with him for sure is a thing, but Quentin I think wants to be in two places at once though. Ultimately, is he wants to be able to go and see if he can support Iono in her graduation ceremony, whatever she makes of it, and also be there with MINERVA, mostly because he assumes that there's going to be some downtime.
So your goal MINERVA is to be in two places at once.
Yeah.
What if we make it three places at once to help Van-Vee escape?
That could actually occur. Yeah, exactly. But
please, you heard an explosion. You know who it is.
And MINERVA.
We heard random gunfire. We think it was you. But
communications into and out of that building are all completely controlled. I mean, no one's heard anything. Yeah. MINERVA, that leaves you and possibly crew goal, although allying with Carlito, always on the table. No reason to change that if you don't want to. What do you got, Minerva? I mean, what could be going wrong today? What could happen?
I'm really struggling for a short-term goal.
Okay.
I don't want to do something as easy as go to my meeting because I'm already going to the meeting. And
I'm gonna be honest with you.
you.
I've been a little more strict about goals. Go to the meeting is an acceptable goal for this episode.
Oh,
You're not going.
Boy. Okay, then meet with the Prime Minister. We'll see how hard this is.
Go to the meeting. All right. So first thing that happens
I don't like that this is an acceptable goal.
I'm going to describe something happening. At the same time, I'm going to send a message to Kain on Discord. Feel free to jump in at any time while I'm talking, Kain.
Okay.
But before we do that, I should make sure we're in the correct order on this here overlay. Yeah.
I'm Quentin. Get ready to be royally effed.
So, Quentin, for you, the driver stops outside of the building, and he gets out, opens the back panel, and gestures to you, and he says, "Sir, are you going to pick up your box?"
Oh, yeah. Sure, I got that. And he half said, "How heavy would this be, actually?"
Hundreds of pounds. It's a full robot dude made of reinforced metal.
Rear thrusters, just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Oh no, there's no plausible. Quentin's gonna mime picking it up, but he's using telekinesis to do this.
As you do that, it begins unfolding into Minerva's new box.
There we go.
Transformers noises. All right, I can't do them with my mouth. Yeah.
I didn't know if we had to pretend here.
Think Box Nerva. I think I'm going to go with that now. Box Nerva.
I like Minbox better.
Minbox. It looks disoriented. It just sort of looks around for a second to get surroundings.
You all right there? Which way are we going? Quentin says to the driver, I guess.
Oh, if you're ready, just follow me. I will take you to the conference room.
Oh, perfect.
So he starts to head up these sort of pyramidical steps of government. Every part of this building is American government style. The outside is made of brick. Everything has been painted a austere, featureless white. All of the steps are made of marble. You can already tell going in, everything inside is going to be about 30 years behind the current level of technology, and will be filled with overworked bureaucrats. You can just smell the substandard conduct from here. As you make your way up into the Prime Minister's complex. Meanwhile...
Captain.
Oh.
Do you feel okay? Do you feel unusual at all?
Should I? Wait, out of care.
I mean, your pulse is going up because you're jogging up a set of stairs.
Yeah, that's fair.
You also feel a sudden slight tinge of adrenaline when one of your companions asks you if you feel okay.
Right. Yeah, that's... I thought I was, but what's going on? What's on your mind?
If you feel okay, it might be nothing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Suspect.
All right. Now you got me nerves up. You got feel.
Minerva just keeps walking. Minbox keeps walking.
Quentin is like looking at the box and back.
As you push open the front doors, you get the loading screen glare of adjusting to interior light. And we actually cut to Van-Vee and his father standing. Your father is adjusting his prison jumpsuit, making sure that his glasses are on straight. And he says, "We're going to reach the top floor very shortly." Vandorn. I just need you to be ready. Act casual. Act like you are the one in control here, and walk me outside. We will figure out where we're going to go from there.
You really think that's going to work? If we just act like we're doing the right thing, like there's no alarms that you triggered, or no one's radioing what just happened?
I'm sure that there will be alarms triggered in the next 20 or 30 seconds or so, but we just have to get outside to your vehicle.
My vehicle. Yeah, y'all, I was given a ride here.
Okay. We can acquire a car.
I guess what I know we're running out of time here. What is the plan? Like, I do have a ship here, but
just
what?
Breathe. He puts his hand on your shoulder and gestures to his abdomen, says, just breathe. We're going to walk through this door. Everything is totally normal.
Why do I think this is going to look like a scene out of John Wick?
Yeah, so the elevator dings, it opens, and it's more like a scene out of the Captain America movie. There's just a line of people with riot shotguns and combat shields lined up, all pointed in a semicircle into it. And you hear a voice say, "That's all right, gentlemen. I am sure that Dr. Yall and Dr. Yall are both able to come with me right now. I assure you they've surrendered themselves into my custody."
Do I recognize the voice?
Does sound like Magistrate Sandeep Chopra.
That's the guy that drove me here.
So actually, he sent the car. He didn't drive you here personally.
Oh, okay.
But he contacted you. I mean, you've spoken with him before.
Fair.
It seems clear that this is all like parade because they perfectly form two lines to let you see the not very intimidating image of, again, it looks like Anil Kapoor, so a slightly short, slightly overweight Indian American actor wearing a giant white magistrate's British wig and black robes, and he just says, "Gentlemen, if you'll come this way."
I am 100% not making the first move. I'll just follow y'all's lead.
Yeah, y'all just he basically immediately surrenders to the situation. He takes the sunglasses off and puts them on one of the troopers' gun barrels as he goes past. So it should be noted that there is still a music soundtrack playing during this part, but instead of Secret Agent Man Live from 1966, it's like a hurdy-gurdy and accordion accompaniment version of it. It sounds like a really sad circus version of Secret Agent Man. It's got some flatulence to it.
Okay. I feel like Van-Vee's probably pretty intimidated, wants to say something, but knows better, and is just going to follow y'all's lead. Like, he has a lot of questions to go to y'all right now, but it's just going to like, okay, I'm clearly the passenger in this situation.
Sandeep takes you deeper into the facility. I don't just mean interior-wise, because this facility, like many facilities on this planet, government facilities, is an octagon. However, he leads you down beneath the first level into a interior room somewhere in at the very least the first basement. You know that there are many basement levels because your father was stored quite deep underground. As he makes his way down, there are a lot of portraits. Your dad is one of the portraits down here. He raises his right hand up and shows off his 8-sided ring to two men standing before a door with two flags that you don't recognize. And they raise their hands up, showing that they are also wearing rings. They swipe the rings at the flags, and the door opens. And inside, there are 4 people waiting for you inside, sitting around a table with 9 chairs, but 8 sides.
9 chairs, but 8 sides. Where's the 9th chair positioned?
Well, as you and y'all sit down, there are actually 3 chairs at his side.
Oh shit. Okay.
So the 2 of you sit down, and Sandeep takes a seat across from y'all and says, I am here. Also in attendance for this meeting is Ivan, Bryce, Pascal, Dr. Yall, Dr. Yall. Not present is Dr. Yall or Dr. Yall. Let us
I don't
begin
know how to put that down in notes that I'd understand it later.
this meeting of the Circle of 8. And you heard him call somebody Bryce, and there is a man. I want you to imagine, however you imagine Bryce Cullington Dover the 16th. I want you to imagine that, but imagine the fat Thor with Cheetos playing PlayStation version of that, with a massive beard, completely unkempt. His mom's going to tell him to eat a salad. He waves at you from across the table and says, "Charmed, I'm sure. I assume your name is not actually Y'all. Sandeep is, of course, a fucking idiot. I am Bryce Cullington Dover Jr., or I suppose my ancestors would call me the second. I'm told that your name is Vandorn Vantis, but you prefer Van-Vee?"
Is this guy like the? It's not really a head.
There's
Does
no
he just
head
have a
to
side?
an
He just has a
eight-sided
side to
table.
himself.
Yes. Everyone else is sitting alone.
Except for y'all said.
Y'all's side has 3 chairs.
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Y'all gave me the name Vandorn, but I found Van-Vee easy to get around with. What's going on here?
So a man takes a trilby off of his head and puts it in front of him. He's wearing a frock and black robes, and there is a silver cross stitched on both his shoulders. And he says, "Young man, can I assume by the fact that you are addressing your father as Dr. Y'all that perhaps you are not as close to him as we have been led to believe?"
I'm just going to turn and look at my dad and let him answer that one.
It's a lot of people looking at Dr. Y'all Vantis, and he says, "My son does not know anything about what we do in the shadows, or the lengths that I've taken to protect him. And there is no reason for all of you to be rushing out exposition. Everything that happened to us happened a long time ago. I have made it my life's work to discourage him from accidentally setting off a chain of events that might ruin everything I and all of us together have worked for. So unless you are willing to kill my son in front of me, I suggest you keep your mouths shut."
But did you just suggest they should kill me?
I believe I suggested that they should not kill you.
What? I'm sorry. Who are these other people? And what? I think I might know more than you think I do, but I am certainly confused at this moment in time.
The man who put the trilby on the table says, "Father Pascal Jade." A woman who is seated kind of at an angle from you is working on like knitting a sock. Says, "Chula Montera. I work on the local moon. Actually, we passed each other back when you killed a man."
He comes so close to saying something. He's like, I'm not going to bring that up. Oh, so what what is it y'all do here? And I don't mean y'all, but
Are
like
you
what?
skipping over me, young man? I am Ivan Arimatea, and I am the most important person in this room.
I'd like to know what you mean by important at this point, because I'm very confused as at some of the shit I just saw him do. Like
He
see what
just
you can
breaks
do.
out into a broad smile and doesn't explain further.
Well, all right. I guess this will come with time. So what is it? What is it? We apparently I'm another Dr. Y'all, according to shoot, who did the intros? Bryce? No, it wasn't Bryce. Bryce called him an idiot. It was Sandeep.
Sandeep. Well, Sandeep kind of swivels his chair slightly and isn't paying attention to you, and he says, as far as I'm concerned, young man, you are not a member of the Circle of Eight yet. It is some question about you and your... What are you calling him, y'all? His brother? Your other son? Does he even know what you did?
We'll return to that in a second, but you said Dr. Y'all 4 times when we walked in here.
Yes, I did.
I know 3 of them. Who's 4? And I turned and asked that, looking at y'all.
I mean,
I keep pressing back to
y'all. Turns to look at you and he says, "You're the one that sent me a message asking about your uncle."
He's like so not sure what he can say and what he can't say in this room. Yeah, you telling me that random person I ran into was actually an uncle?
The Circle of Eight maintains a operative off planet at all times, just in case of a emergency. Someone can carry on our work. Right now, it's
sure?
Dr. Y'all Vantis. I'm quite sure.
And you believe this person still has your best interest in mind, given that this person gave me a course runner to go to wherever it goes to. The black hole in the northeast.
Okay, so when you say that, everybody in the room reacts in some different way. Ivan literally flips his side of the table over. Sandeep just goes, he's compromised. I knew it. I told you we couldn't trust him. There's too much grace in him. Father
when they say grace,
yeah,
he's like, Van-Vee stands up and goes, "What do you know about her? I want to know." Like, accent drops a little bit, like just straight anger. I want to know about my mother.
Okay. Everyone is doing something except for Chula, who is still knitting. And I want to assume that you're standing up slightly, hands slammed down on the table.
Yes,
and when you do that, and when you say, I want to know, etc., we cut back to Quentin and Minerva arriving outside Bryce Cullington Dover the 16th's office.
You guys got a faux one.
You are shown in. He is at the top of a tower looking out over the government complex. And he gestures for the two of you and says, please, sit down. I was hoping to speak to you on a number of subjects. I assume that the two of you are keeping no secrets from each other, but if you are, we can separate our conversations into subsections.
Quentin looks at Minerva. Any concerns on your part?
I have no concerns.
Very well. I wanted to report to you that we have accelerated our timetable to recover your cruiser. He begins taking a tablet and swooshing things off of it, and a holo projector projects them and catches them in midair. And it appears to be the space above this planet. And he says, the 3rd Strike Squadron is practicing and assembling now for a assault on the Can 599 pirate den. They will be supported by the 21st Logistical Strike Group, and we're also assembling Logistical Flotilla 37, made up entirely of Kerbal-class colliers. They will be transiting the 771st Marine Assault Regiment so that we can execute a punitive action on the pirates in response to recent events, including and not limited to the attack several months ago and the attack, well, today. This, since they will be putting out discipline on a unruly series of individuals, we have given them the codename Task Force Yankee. It will be led by Lieutenant Admiral Francine Walters. This group will be accomplishing their mission, and it is our hope that we are thoroughly successful. However, the 21st Logistical Strike Group will be detaching a squadron of ships in order to, as far as anyone outside of the general staff knows, to set up on the moon that is, technically it is a sort of planetoid on the far side of the black hole where your cruiser is waiting. That strike group will be led by Lieutenant Commander Basil Worthington. He and 4 crew members will be detaching from the strike group when they are in a communications blackout area. They will be assembling a small tent on your cruiser where they will live for the next 20 days. They will take the level 5 spike drive that we have acquired and insert it into your ship with a sufficient power system to get them back to this planet. He then, as you can see here, the slipways above the moon are completing what we are calling the Golden Hind class heavy cruiser. Your ship will be a sort of proving grounds or a test case to make sure that we're capable of handling cruisers of the size and design that you have provided us. We expect our operation to execute on July the 18th, and we expect repairs on your ship to be fully completed on September the 15th. I will note that this is a full seasonal quarter early.
This is amazing news.
We have also prepared a cover story for why a mostly damaged cruiser is limping home. Subaltern James Nakamura is a active social media user. He is also a university exchange student from Finana Fleet Systems. We are nearly assured that he is a spy or a plant of some kind. We are going to make certain that James Nakamura leaks to social media the existence of the Golden Hind heavy cruiser, therefore providing cover for the fact that a thoroughly damaged cruiser is making its way back from the pirate raid and entering into repairs. Your ship will be, to the public's eyes, the prototype for the rest of the Golden Hind class that, well, we'll come up with further lies whenever we need them. But we have several months before we need to prepare that. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and now that you know it, I would caution you against leaking any of this information, as it will put your ship and all of our crewmen at risk.
Sounds like you've been incredibly thorough. I don't know that I would have anything I could add.
Given the assistance that this is, I would absolutely take no steps to compromise it.
Well, that's great news, because you have compromised the security of this planet in the past. Repeatedly.
Perhaps I misunderstand something.
Tell me about your relationship with the board of Finana Fleet Systems.
Me personally, or
your crew in general? You appear to have a Finana operative on board. They've been sighted together with you at several destinations and stops.
Yeah, Finana has entered into an agreement with us in relation to essentially sponsoring some of our, salvage operations. they're interested in high technology and have resources that we needed in regards to repair and supplies and otherwise. So they made an offer that seemed amenable to us and didn't seem to run into any issues with y'all. At least from my perspective and my understanding, y'all seem to be allies as well. Didn't seem like there would be any harm in entering a mutually beneficial relationship with them, just like we entered into one with you.
I know that they had an unanticipated ability to learn a few things that we did not voluntarily disclose, which is why I sent you the message as soon as some of that information was figured out by them on their own.
Very well.
I tried to be open about anything that was unforeseen and to be open to anything corrective that might be deemed necessary.
You have sent me several messages of a questionable nature, which, given your involvement with Phenomena, have made me extremely apprehensive. So rather than rehash them, I just want to ask you, what is it that you want exactly?
From...
You're the one asking me about quarantine zone. I'm afraid that information is classified at levels that I am not capable of sharing with you. I can say that Officer Brett Carthage is a well-regarded officer in the fleet, and that his duty on board your ship was executed to a satisfactory manner, according to your own reports.
And I understand that with classifications, there is likely no answer, but my intention was to try to divulge as little as possible while making sure that make sure that I wasn't going to make any mistakes.
I also have a question here about you and some sort of revelations or asking for permission to do something.
Revelations.
So you had messaged him, I believe, about talking to Dr. Leslie Fish about you.
Oh, right.
So like you said, you sent him a bunch of really questionable stuff, and he's like, why don't we just talk about this now rather than...
Right, yeah. So the captain has decided to hire a physician aboard the ship. And while I have been maintaining the agreement and ensuring that I hide that nature, I was wondering if some sort of background check or something could be performed. But I was seeking permission to reveal myself to the doctor. If it was not advantageous or considered a security risk, then of course I will continue to not do so. But I didn't want to do so without asking.
And this is Dr. Leslie Fish, who's been accompanying your ship and has been sighted at least 2 ports with you?
Correct.
Understood. We have a background check assembled. We will run a security risk on her. As he says that, he just kind of flicks a couple of boxes and then hits the green button on his tablet. I'm sure we'll have our analysts within the hour make a determination on her trustworthiness. You haven't revealed yourself to Banana, have you?
Banana was able to discover this with no intention on my part. I tried to continue to hide it, but due to my nature and the nature of Fairy, the proximity of our ships and interactions with our systems made it very apparent to the two of us that we were both there.
I see.
I did ask Barry to respect the fact that information is something that I'm trying to keep private. I did not mention that I was keeping it private on anybody else's behalf.
So you've spoken with it directly?
I have spoken with Barry directly. I made all information that I provided about my wish for secrecy was framed as a private concern. No mention of the government of Metapile.
Can I ask, where is your chassis?
It was destroyed.
That is extremely regrettable. I cannot begin to tell you how irreplaceable and expensive such a device is.
I have some small inkling in making inquiries about potentially replacing it.
Interesting. Well, that's a slight problem for yourself.
Indeed, I wasn't sure how private or visible entrance to the complex would be, so I figured it would be more discreet to have the appearance of accompanying hardware to my captain as opposed to.
Of course. Virtual intelligence boxes like yourself are rare, but not unseen around here. Solely at government facilities, of course. We don't allow for private ownership, so I strongly stress that you do not go out in public.
Of course.
Mr. Polk, are you here as a private extranational citizen, or are you here as a ambassador?
Well, yeah, I think given everything that's been happening with my home, it would be remiss of me to not use this opportunity to do both in this scenario. I'm here from MINERVA, of course, but yeah. And he opens up his compad and sends over, his draft letter, which breaks down his proposal around sort of a partnership of sorts with the Royal Academy, rebuilding the Psionic Academy that way. The Ludemann brands version of the Order of the Golden Goose to sort of provide a economic incentive to Midapile supporting that group and, essentially make it a situation where they can grow their own economy by increasing exports, et cetera, et cetera.
He gets your message on his tablet, does not look at it, and sets it aside. And he says, I would like to express on behalf of the Royal Princess, our government and our world's deepest sympathies for you and your people. And we are entirely willing to offer you land and citizenship on our planet. Coexistence with us is thoroughly possible. We are preparing a proposal for your eyes as the only remaining head of government to our understanding as to how your unique educational system can be folded into the Royal Princess's Academy.
Well,
government service is a very important part of citizens' lives here on this fantastic and wonderful world of Midapile. So I'm sure you would understand that some work study and post-graduation mandatory service would be necessary for all psionic initiates.
For all. All right. Well, hey, how about this? I'll give you an opportunity to read my proposal, forward it up the chain as far as you feel that's necessary. As far as I know, you're it. So this is perfect. This is perfect.
I'll look at your proposal and we'll send
and I'll
you
look
ours.
at yours. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Maybe we'll find somewhere in the middle to meet.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, strong negotiating position you got there, I suppose. From my side of the table, I sure hope that at the very least the people of Lita get something out of either end of this. Looking forward to seeing what you send.
I believe a place to live and exist peacefully is a extremely excellent offer.
Well, I don't think most of the population would be too interested in it, but
it's not my job to sell them on that.
Fair enough.
I regret that we find ourselves across the table playing hardball, but I am following direct instructions.
Well, I guess the chain doesn't really stop here, does it?
Mr. Polk, there's always a bigger fish.
Yeah. That's something we definitely agree on. And I was hoping our two sides might come together, because there sure seems like there might be some bigger ones floating out there in the rest of the sector, but I'll let you make your own decisions.
Raises an eyebrow and he says, have you reached out to other worlds with this proposal? Are any of them interested?
I imagine more than a few would be, but you know, you're where I am right now.
Why don't we adjourn for a few minutes so that I can review your proposal? I strongly advise you to take a look at the details of our prepared packet.
Or doing.
So he walks the two of you over to the elevator to his private office tower. And as the door opens, it is a chair being thrown in the meeting of the Circle of Eight. As Ivan is walking in a circle going, we are fucked. We are so fucked. I told you we could not trust him when we ran. I told you he has her memories. Her personality is implanted in her. He will want to return because he loves her, just like most of you do. All of you y'alls are fucking compromised.
I disarmed myself, right? I'm pretty sure I did. That's too bad.
There's no way they let you come into a federal building, federal detention center with firearms.
You didn't even make them take them from you. As soon as you got
left it in
you were
the
just
car.
like, yeah.
All right. I somehow need to channel to Quentin to say, give me your psionic gun in this moment. No, but really, I do think for some reason, can't really explain it. Van-Vee gets super defensive about his mom, someone he's never met, knows nothing about. Mm-hmm. And he stands up, he slams the table, and he probably makes a half lunge in this Ivan guy's direction. Would never actually do anything because he has no idea what anyone in this room is capable of, but clearly showing he's visibly frustrated by this guy's comments about Grace, not knowing anything else about her.
Oh, he 100% wheels around and gets in your face and goes, oh, are you mad? You're mad because I'm mocking your wife? Your wife who is a demon? She is a demon in human flesh? You're upset, little y'all?
Oh man, hearing her called as a wife just thoroughly makes him go, wait a minute. Hold on. Shit, he's right. Hold on. Just don't talk about her, all right? Man, just fucking shut up. Just give me a minute. This is a lot for me to take in right now.
So Sandeep goes, I assure you, the people in this room attempt to talk about Grace Vantis as little as possible.
Good. We'll tell Ivan that, Sandeep.
That's Magistrate Chopra to you.
Yeah, that too. I think he's just so overwhelmed but so angry because he feels so left out of the loop with what they're talking about. So
as you look like that, the one person in this room who has kept their shit together, Chula, just finishes she did the thick part of the top band of the sock and is working on the thinner part. That's the 2-part down, and she says, listen, dear, you seem a little out of your depth. I'm assuming that your father has not completed the bond with you, which makes sense since you don't seem like him.
Now, what the hell does that mean? Completed the bond?
I mean, again, everyone in this room but your father are all looking at you or your father
Does he
The
look
ones
pissed?
looking at him are looking very accusatory.
Does y'all look pissed?
He does look pissed. He looks absolutely pissed. And he puts his knuckles on the table, and then he puts a hand like in front of you as if to ward you away from everyone else, and he says, "This meeting is over. My son and I are leaving now. We are going to get back on his ship, and we're going to leave this system. If we're compromised, we need to get as far away from here as possible. My understanding is that there is a wormhole, transit way, jump gate of some kind southeast of here, sector-wise. We should be making arrangements to go undercover as traders and attempt to get through there. My family has the assets necessary. So all of you need to begin preparing cover identities. Anyone who doesn't have any Sybil inside of them need to get with someone who does. Sandeep, I understand you spent the most time as her." And he just says, "Yes, to my great regret. Yes."
And this could either go really well, nothing will happen. Well, I guess this is all possibilities. I would like to pretend I'm interacting with the kindergarten link thing and reach out into this room to see if anything in here is link accessible.
So just to be clear, the link cannot be used to do like mind-to-mind information transfer.
Right. Yeah.
That said, everyone in here has the link organ. When you kind of push out, it's like a radar.
And you get it's like a sonar.
You get bloops back. Yeah. Everyone here has a link.
Is there anything that's not a person? Like anything I could try to interact with just to like...
No, I'm just like searching for
accessible
devices in here.
Okay. Got it.
The thing that is link accessible about them is that they all have dust.
I think that probably causes more confusion for Van-Vee. Just like, what? Man, he has so many questions at this point, but he's realized he has made the situation 10,000 times worse for his dad.
So you've spent a lot more time with the link and your dust than you've ever, basically. So your read on the room is that the density of dust is about twice as strong with everyone but your father, and his is half as strong as yours. You can barely detect his.
So just make sure I have the ratio. Everyone else in the room is 2 me. I'm 1 and he's half.
Correct.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't think I would know this. I didn't pay to see these cards, but can everyone detect that same information?
You have no idea.
That's what I figured. Okay. I will stow that away to ask him once we're not surrounded by a room full of people that could be useful to.
So just to remind you, right now, your dad is preparing to leave with you.
Yeah.
He's basically told everybody that you're off limits and it's time to leave this planet and go.
I will follow his lead.
As you're turning to go, you hear Chula say, "Young man, if you walk out that room, that's it. There will be no more answers. You're going to be beholden to your father for the rest of both of your lives. Sit."
And how is that any different than my life so far? What have the people in this room done for me so far? Hell, what has he done for me in this life so far? At least I know him.
Sit. Let's talk about it.
I'll turn and look at y'all.
I mean, your father is 90% of the way to the door. His hand is reaching out to open it. He holds his right hand out back to you, beckoning for you to come with him now.
Ooh.
He looks afraid. You turn and you look at Chula sitting there making her little socks, but for the first time, she's not looking at the socks. She's looking at you with determination.
Part of me wants to make like an endosteel brattiness roll. Like every part of me wants to just follow y'all, but I don't.
You want me to cut back to the other group real quick? Give you some time to think about it? Yeah. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make you do it right now.
Hey, would you
That was
like
good.
that?
That was good.
You see an inset maybe of Quentin texting Iono. Where are you at?
I don't know. I feel like.
Are you even going to look at the Prime Minister's proposal? Out of curiosity.
At this point, I mean, his base terms are not amenable to Quentin.
I'm following y'all.
Okay.
I won't even. I think I just say.
Listen, there are so many cards on the table, and you are walking away from them. Just to be clear.
Oh, you're gonna leave.
That is fine. You
I'm
leave with
y'all.
your father.
So I rolled the d20. If it was 10 or under, I was following y'all. 11 or higher, I was going to stay in the room.
You just rolled a D2.
I could have, but a part of me was like, maybe I'll do
never
15 or higher. Maybe a 15 or higher. I don't know. I feel like natural tendencies follow family. Follow the person that you think is father.
You and your father walk out hand in hand as he begins making his way outside. He is still wearing the full raiment of a prisoner of this facility.
Yeah.
He begins walking outside. He gets in the van with you and just tells the driver, he's just like, drive, get us back to the ship.
Do I have any the only thing I want to do is if I have any type of radio communication, I'm immediately reaching out to MINERVA and Quentin and saying, we need to get to the ship. We need to leave soon.
You send that. And we go to Quentin and MINERVA when they receive that. The two of you are in a lobby. There are hard plastic shell seats shaped like eggs. They are deeply uncomfortable to be sitting in. And they're on benches like 5 long with no armrests. And they're so close to each other.
This sounds like a VA waiting room.
Yeah. My mom worked for the VA her whole life, so I'm glad you know where I'm coming from. Everything is slightly faded off yellow, slightly white, colored lines on the floor.
So glad I'm a robot.
Yeah, well, Quentin probably gets that message right, like asked after or as he had texted Iono asking where she was, and holds that up towards the box and says, "Oh no, what is happening?" You're muted.
Well,
Sorry, I was saying, oh man, Quentin's having a mental breakdown.
Your father says, who are you communicating with? Is that the captain?
I'll explain as much to you as you explain to me once we're on the ship.
Captain, can you hear me?
Is it open voice?
Yeah.
Right.
He can't hear you though. Like,
oh yeah,
because it's in Van-Vee's ear. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
You can hear him. Captain, you need to return to your vessel immediately. We need to evacuate this planet. It is the highest level of priority. There is something coming that we are not prepared to handle.
Something? Did he say something, Van-Vee?
Captain, in case you couldn't tell us, this is my dad, y'all. I don't know if you remember his voice, but we upset.
Van-Vee,
sounds exactly like an older you.
Van-Vee, I understand you wish to exchange information you believe is pertinent at the moment, but
what are your friends saying? I see from your face you're reacting. What are they saying?
Understand that the information you provide at this moment, I cannot
Vandorn,
guarantee
talk
its
to
safety.
me. What's going on?
Captain, I'm just going to say, if you're not at the ship, I'm going to have to find another means off planet. That's all I'm going to say, sir. I feel like I don't have time.
Government negotiations and
Sir, I don't understand what I don't understand. All I know is this is way deeper than I ever thought about my family and what I am and what my father is.
Are the authorities like directly after you? Jesus.
I think it's worse than the authorities. I don't quite understand myself, but it's not good.
Look, son,
we just kind of broke out of prison, but at the same time they let us go.
Don't tell them any. Listen, the less they know and the less you know, the better off everybody is. Okay. Also, just to be clear, you didn't break out of prison. I broke out of prison.
So I got him to say that out loud. So
yeah,
Quentin heard that.
Van-Vee, I don't know if we can just up and leave right this second. I'll figure out what we can do. I will get us back to the ship as soon as we possibly can. That's the best I can do right now. Yelnau's off at the university. Like we can't just abandon her either. Like we've got some stuff to get. We've got ducks to get in a row here, man.
I feel like you're going to hear all right, y'all, we need a plan B. We need our own ship off. And then you click.
Oh, shit. MINERVA, what the hell? Do you got a plan? I got no. I don't even.
Like, as much as Van-Vee wants off planet, he's not going to, like, doom the rest of the people.
MINERVA, get tracking him. Can you track him?
I might be able to.
All right.
Are you
Has
still
Yelnau responded?
quantum? Are you quantum ECM piercing?
Yes.
Then yes. Before you have a chance to look at any response from Yelnau,
Oh yeah.
two and two security guards, so two pairs, begin approaching from either side of the lobby, with nightsticks drawn and hands on belt holsters.
MINERVA, stay close.
Excuse me, Captain?
Yeah, that's me. Can I help you?
You and your group are no longer welcome on planet. You're being diplomatically ejected. Any prior agreements you have been broken as a result of the actions of your crew.
I'm sorry.
We need you to come with us immediately. We're taking you back to your ship. Sir, I need you to stand up right now and start moving.
Oh, he's standing up. He's standing up. Yeah, he's not wasting time. Yeah, lead on.
I'm gonna send a text to Van-Vee, and it's just gonna say, we are being escorted to the ship right now.
Oh, good news, y'all. They're on their way. Oh,
Quentin,
sounds like they're not alone, though. They're being escorted.
You get a bing from Yelnau. The first one says, I'm picking up my diploma right now. Then you get another bing saying, looks like there's some kind of problem. The bursar stepped aside for a moment.
Oh, no. She didn't get it. Poor girl.
Oh,
She gets another bing saying, there's a bunch of security guards descending on me right now. I think I'm in a lot of trouble.
Oh no. Quentin texts her, tell them to escort you back to the ship. I hope they're escorting you back to the ship. We're being escorted back to the ship as well by security personnel.
There's no answer.
Oh no. Should Quentin teleport there? Can he? He's been to the university, but not the specific spot she would be, like the bursar's office. It's too late. Yeah, I guess he's.
We lost our Google.
Yeah,
Well, we don't know what's going on with her yet.
yeah, we don't. No, yeah, she might be on the ship. That's bad.
Yeah, I'll just keep track of where she's going, see if she's, gets moved in the general direction of the ship or not.
She is being moved to the backside of the college and appears to be getting in a vehicle that is moving towards the spaceport.
Okay. I think everything is fine, Captain.
All right. What the hell happened?
I feel like you get a sorry gif from
Yeah, Quentin is like shutting down a little bit. He's just like crisis after crisis after crisis. Like, I just thought I could make things a little bit better on this visit.
You get a official letter of rejection from the office of Bryce Collington Dover the 16th, signed by the royal princess herself. That due to the radical actions of one of your crewmates, which is under the umbrella of your responsibility, you have shown that you're untrustworthy partner. Any and all outstanding obligations between you and your crew, not limited to Van-Vee, Quentin, MINERVA, Dr. Leslie Fish, and
So that's the Hosta too, right? Like the ship and everything.
Yes, all of that. They are completely divesting themselves of their relationship with you based on what's happened.
I really missed this. I thought this was like a secret thing that happened with Van-Vee and Stan, but it's not that secret.
I mean, we still don't know what precipitated.
Yeah,
Neither does Van-Vee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying that out
because
loud,
of a member of the crew.
Yeah,
we think it's probably not.
I think I missed a little bit what a line somewhere because I didn't follow.
3 parties left the ship. You two, Iono, and Van-Vee. Shit hit the fan.
As the 2 vehicles are meeting up with a 3rd vehicle, everybody is getting out. Van-Vee, you get a notification indicating that as a naturalized citizen, your citizenship on planet has been revoked. And you're given 24 hours to leave the planet. You are also banished for life.
Can I call Allie and Zach?
Yeah.
I would like, I think I would have done this in the car ride over, but yeah. And I would try to, long story short, try to route them to this same spaceport.
Okay.
No matter what they're doing, this is the number 1 priority.
Your calls are on their way out to them. There is a slight time delay, which indicates that they're definitely not on the planet and they are absolutely somewhere in orbit. As they are answering, it looks like they are on a ship somewhere. And Zach is like upside down from the camera. It's clear he's in 0 gravity. His hair is completely wild. He's just like, hey man, what's up? And that is where we're going to take our break. We'll be back for the second half in about 5 minutes.
We just got a new rail now.
Ooh, that's good.
You tell me how you guys want to go from here. The entire crew, minus Dr. Leslie Fish and Louie, are gathered at the down elevator ramp up to the ship. You're surrounded by a cordon of black-suited people with stun sticks and hands on belt holsters waiting for you to get on the ship. Dr. Y'all looks like a prisoner.
Minerva's making to get on the ship.
Things
went well.
Maybe we should. Maybe you shouldn't be dressed like that anymore. Just, I'm sure we're the same size, so we got something that'll fit you. But let's get you out of that uniform. And I have a lot of questions. The crew's gonna have questions. I think we need to. We need to have a little bit of power.
Before we have
Plus, Sophie's on board. Just so you know,
board the ship.
Yeah, I feel like I'm saying this for all walking.
There's one silent member of the crew holding a crumpled piece of vellum that has clearly been crushed from its original perfect sheet state.
Oh, poor Iono.
Iono is just sadly looking at what was clearly a balled up doctoral degree, trying to smooth it out.
Quentin telekinesis actually smoothed it out for her.
I mean, it's vellum. It's never gonna go back to its original state. But yeah, I mean, you can start working on it.
Really. I'm so sorry.
You start using telekinesis, and guns come out all over the place.
Oh, we're still in front of them. I
assume that you're being elevated up. Like,
sure.
You start using telekinesis, and one of them shouts, "He's using psionic powers!" It's guns all over the place.
All right.
And somebody said, like, like you're almost to the point where it's going to close, and somebody's like, "Sir, stop using the power immediately!"
I flattened a sheet of paper.
Click as the elevator.
Quentin probably chucks something across the room at that point. He says, "God damn it! What the fuck happened, Van-Vee?"
I think
y'all.
I really want to know that too, but I think we
on
really
your
gotta...
communications device, Zach and Allie are there waiting for you, and Zach's just like, "What? Sorry, connection's a little spotty. What's going on? Is Dad there?"
Yeah, where are you guys? Where can we get you?
We're in orbit. Mom told us we're going on a vacation.
Yeah, where in orbit? What ship you on?
We're preparing to Vostro 1.
Wait, that's the family's planet, right?
That's a family space station, yes.
Captain, I'd love to explain things on the way, or actually I want y'all to explain things on the way, but permission to go pick up my brother and sister?
Hey,
get the hell out of here.
What's up? We're leaving.
Don't move. Stay put.
What?
We ain't got room, Van-Vee. We can't fit everybody on the ship.
Sir, it's just temporary.
If they're leaving on a separate vessel, then they'll have the logistical support to survive on the other vessel.
Whenever, sometimes I hate your brain. All right, with the shit connection. Whenever, can you strengthen the connection? Zach, where are you going?
I believe Sophie is still on your ship.
Oh, she might know that information.
She walks around the corner and she sees y'all and looks venomous and says, "Van-Vee, come over here. I want to talk to you about the plans for the family."
Can we please just figure out where Allie and Zach
right
are?
now? I know where your brother and sister are.
Okay, all right. Can you just give coordinates to MINERVA to where we can find them?
We need to have a private conversation away from your father and away from the rest of this crew. So if you please come over here right now.
Yes, ma'am.
The ship starts taking off.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say,
we're at least going to break orbit.
Get us out of here. Van-Vee, go take care of what you got to take care of.
Like, I'll send a transmission to indicate our intentions to leave orbit now.
Okay.
Quentin seeking permission for clear airspace and all that.
Yeah, you're given 2 police escort fighters escort you up. Where a waiting torpedo cruiser appears to be just shadowing the ship.
Okay.
We are worse than pirates. Good to know.
Were we told to leave the system
immediately? You have 24 hours to leave orbit.
Orbit.
We just can't be around the planet, which also means we can't go to the Vostro station because that's an orbit.
But we can go to Carlito's station.
Really? I guess so.
Jesus.
I'm just going to break orbit from the planet and get away from the planet so we can get out of the planet. And then we'll all going to pull to a halt in black space. Well, whatever's happening. And I guess MINERVA is going to try to guess whether Van-Vee wants to be listened to or not, dependent on where he and his mother go.
Yeah. Yes, you're going to be listening either way. We all know it.
Well, she's taking him to her room.
Her cargo pod thing? Oh, no. The room that she's using
a while ago. She has one of the spare rooms. So y'all follows Quentin around, by the way.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was going to say, Quentin points at y'all and says, we should talk.
Yeah, of course.
I was thinking we should talk. I got questions.
I'm going to send a text message to Van-Vee asking if he wants to be alone.
Just, I guess, me and Sophie for now. Don't listen. I'll give you a cliff notes. You know I always do.
Your mother sits down across from you and says, I don't know what's going on with your father, but I'm getting all sorts of alerts. I was already planning to separate from him, and now I found out that his citizenship has been revoked in the last few minutes.
Is yours revoked?
No, I was born here.
Mine was revoked.
Yes, I got that notification as well. Everything that he owns is being seized, which is fine because I own most things.
Smart.
However, we do have joint ownership over Vostro Construction. So it is being seized and privatized for the use of the government. Before we landed, I had already made arrangements for all vessels and assets of Vostro Construction to leave the system. And we were going to move the entire company to a new location. So I guess we're going to see in the next few hours who is loyal to Vostro and who is loyal to Midapile. And I have to tell you, I think that a lot of people are not going to be loyal to the company. They're going to be loyal to the government.
You know, Mom, I gotta say, you are one savvy businesswoman. What you have just done in the past 24 hours may have saved the family.
Father has
to be
bamboozled me
honest,
for our entire life together.
but and I don't want this. Shoot, there's no way I can say this without coming off the wrong way. But what I just saw Dad do with some of these other people, Vostro Construction is the least of my worries right now.
Who are these other people?
They call themselves the Circle of Eight.
That's
And you know Dad's ring?
fraternity. Yes.
It's more than that. I just saw Dad do things that I didn't think were humanly possible. And it seemed like this other crew of people, they all have these powers, and it feels like...
Is he a psionic? You
I
said
don't think that's the right word
powers.
for it. It's... well, it's like he's really mentally in tune with a body that just adjusts to what he's looking for. I mean, how I think he was born in like 2542 or something like that.
You have previously mentioned something along those lines, yes.
Right. So since that time, imagine if you had all the knowledge since all that time to fine tune how to use your body. Think what you might be capable of. That's kind of where he's at. And I think these other people in the room, just, based off a quick scan, are like 4 times more powerful than he is. And honestly, his power count was a little low. Like I have double his power count.
What is a power count?
Oh man. So
I just took a quick blood sample to look at his midichlorians.
so I've got this extra thing in my brain. It's like a gland that lets me kind of reach out. It's not psionic per se, but it's like a way of communication with intelligent devices, so to speak. And everyone in the room had one, which means everyone in the room was dust. And I could just tell how much dust each person had. And, Dad had the least.
I don't know that you've discussed dust with your mother yet.
Oh, I thought I told her everything. Huh?
Did you? All right. Well, she's still looking confused about this.
I would too.
Sorry. Just to be clear, does the amount of dust that someone has change the amount of physical capability that they have? What does the dust do?
I honestly don't know. This is one of the many questions I have for Dad. I assumed all dust people had the same dust, but Dad has half the dust I have, and everyone else in the room has twice the dust that I had.
So you would say that Dad has a power level of 1, and you have a level of 2.
Well, Well, shoot, maybe that doesn't make sense because he did stuff that I don't think I can do. I don't know how this works, Mom. If you were around 24
Does your
hours
brother
ago,
have dust?
I don't know. When we were in the room, they said there were 4 Dr. Yalls, 2 present, 2 not. I can only assume one of them Zach. That's why I was on the phone with Zach, trying to figure out where he's at.
Your brother is preparing to leave system. I told your brother.
Where's he going?
We're getting to that.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
I think you need to make a decision as to who you want to be with. And I hate to be so straightforward about this, but obviously I'm divorcing your father. And we're going to get as far away from him as possible. And I need to know who you're getting in the divorce. Either you're coming with me or you're going with your father. And just know I'm not trying to influence you in either way. I know that this is a very harsh ultimatum, and we're doing it on such short notice, and things are really difficult right now, but I need you to decide the rest of your life in the next 30 seconds.
What? But I just chose family over this other Circle 8, not knowing anything about them, because I figured family should come first. Now you're asking me to split my family in half too.
Well, it's not really half, because Zach and Allie are coming with me, but...
Normally he might laugh at that in this situation.
Yeah, but it's not a joke from...
Yeah, I know. So...
if you needing answers from your father about your other mother is more important than your life with the rest of your family, then I don't just want, I need you to pursue that.
This is not about my other mom. This I'm trying to understand who I am and what the Circle of 8 can do. What I just saw Dad. I'm trying to understand myself. This isn't about my mom.
I can't claim that I understand what's going on with you, but it sounds like you've made a decision, and that decision has upset them. So
it feels like you're telling me I made the wrong decision.
I'm not telling you made the wrong. I think if you've chosen family, then you should come with me, not your father.
And you're telling me there's no way we can go together, because I think that's what's needed for our best survival.
I don't know who your father is, but I think it's clear that he's used me and my position in politics and my money, and those things are all evaporating very quickly right in front of me. So you need to ask yourself, do you need answers from him more than you need them? I don't think it's fair to put all of this on me.
I'm not putting this on you. You're all family to me, Mom. Of course, what comes first to me is protecting Allie and Zach. That will always come first, but I don't know how I can do that if I don't know who I am.
Do you need your father to tell you who you are?
At this point, it feels like it would certainly help. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can go back to the Circle 8 and try to undo what I just did. Walking out that door caused a whole lot of trouble. That's for sure. I mean, Dad did it to save me. I don't know.
She just takes your hand in 2 of her hands and she says, when you were a young man, a teenager really, you left home. You walked away from all of us looking for your mom, for who you were. You traveled, as far as I can tell, across the sector, and we kept tabs on you to some extent, but we kept our distance because it was clear that you didn't want to talk to your father about these things, and your father didn't want to talk to you about it. And I want to assume that you've helped find yourself, but you're still lost after everything that happened on Thord, everything that happened when you joined the captain's crew, all of these adventures you seem to have gone on. You've learned so much in such a short time, but do you still still need somebody else to define who you are. Is where you come from more important than where you're going and where your family is going? Because if the answer is yes, then you should stay here and you should seek answers, and you will never see the rest of your family. And that is if you need it, then I think that's a price you have to pay. But as she's saying this, she's crying uncontrollably, sobbing.
I am scared of what he can do if I don't choose him. I mean, he could take out everyone on the ship like this.
Minerva opens an airlock.
Does it occur to
Airlock
you
full
have
speed. Y'all's just in a blink, just floating in space.
I actually, well,
I think there's some things we could do about it.
I
There's
am.
a conversation where you discovered Minerva can kill.
A thought came to Van-Vee's mind during this conversation. It's pretty dark. You know, of course, future is more important than past, Mom. I don't understand the depth of the situation I'm in and the situation I have dragged everyone else into, and truly how dangerous y'all is. And I feel like I just upset a whole lot of people equally as dangerous. So I'm just trying to keep everyone alive at this point. So it's just know, of course I'm siding with you. I want Allie and Zach to be safe. I just don't know how to do that in a way that is safely with y'all.
Okay. We are on our way. We're moving the business to the hauled system. I have a few contacts with Banana Fleet. I'm hoping that we can get set up as a sort of sub-corporation underneath their umbrella. If not, I know some people on Thord who are part of Echelon. Either way, we're going to be moving galactically south.
I will not share any of that information until we have solved the y'all problem.
I mean, the y'all problem is that the next time we dock, that man is leaving whatever ship the two of us are present on.
If things go right, he won't need to leave, and he'll walk out the room.
Okay. Meanwhile, Quentin, I want to assume that you're at like the dinner table / conference room sitting across from y'all, who's still dressed in prisoner's clothes, looking unflappable, like a older version of Van-Vee, except it exudes 100% confidence and unflappability.
Whoa. Van-Vee doesn't exude confidence?
Van-Vee exudes cockiness and arrogance for sure. I don't know that he exudes confidence.
Nailed it.
Half of Van-Vee's conversations start with the words Minerva.
I mean, very factual.
Yeah. Counterpoint across the table from this very cool, calm, collected, suave individual in his jail onesie is Quentin, looking not good, just not good, like sunken eyes, just still not sleeping well, just not looking very healthy. And he had some steam building. He felt like he was in a place where he could do something to set something up long term, to try to start rebuilding, right? And all of that just cut out from under him. So he is very just defeated to a certain degree, angry, of course, and confused entirely. So that's just sort of what y'all would be looking at as far as that goes. And Quentin just looks at him and says, I don't know what happened, what you did, what he did, what's going on at this stage. There's a lot that I don't know for sure. But what I do know is that what happened has cost a hell of a lot to a hell of a lot of people, and it better have been worth it. And I want whatever answers you can give me.
I apologize, Captain. Everything that happened down on that planet is my responsibility. Vandorn is blameless. I don't know how much you know about the situation with me and my son, but given that there are a huge number of passengers on this ship, which is, by the way, from what I'm hearing from the life support system's level of strain, there are too many people on board.
This ain't good.
First, I want to commend you with the level of care and cleanliness that the ship has. You run an excellent ship. Have you
Never
ever
gets
had
a little fuzzy feeling in the computer core? Like, oh.
Have you ever had a secret that you can't tell anyone about, Quentin?
At this point, I've acquired a couple.
Yeah. I'm sure as a psionic, you may have certain experiences that you would prefer not to go through again as well.
Yeah.
Let me offer my apologies about your home.
That's one thing you're not responsible for. But go on.
I am a sole arbiter of knowledge. There is something I know that no one else knows. And if that information were to be made known or relevant or pertinent in any way, it could irrevocably cause damage to the entire sector. It could unleash a unstoppable wave of terror across the entire universe.
Is this something that you or just about any other y'all that's floating around out there can do?
So it would seem my son has shared slightly more information with you than I am comfortable with. No. Just because someone is capable of doing something, and I expect that you may have noticed that my son is an excellent navigator. Lack of knowledge is his problem. I know something that he does not. And while he might be capable of repeating an action I have previously undertaken, that is a chance. It is a chance I would prefer he never take. It is a chance that not only would I prefer he never take, I will not allow him to take. I will not allow anyone to take it. I have considered that killing myself may be the best solution to this problem. But I want to live so badly that I have allowed myself to get into this situation. And I cannot stress enough how much I want to live. You have no idea the lengths I have gone to be alive.
No, I don't really care, honestly, right now, how much you've done to be here today. I'm just so incredibly pissed. You the lack of knowledge. All you've done is bait a hook for him for his whole life.
In extremely clear terms, told him to never seek information about his mother.
Do you know him at all?
I'd say I know him better than anyone else.
I'd love to see that. You're the same person, supposedly. Yeah, I get it.
He is my own flesh and blood.
That don't make
more
him
than that, he is my son, which no one else can say.
Again, you put a carrot on a stick and waved it in front of him repeatedly.
I expected him to act like a man, not like a boy. It's my first time at fatherhood, and I made mistakes, Captain.
They sure seem like big ones.
Well, it's certainly not the biggest mistakes I've ever made.
Well, you got opportunities to make some more now, don't you? And that's apparently all you're after. Just keep getting those opportunities to make mistakes. Eh?
I am trying to protect.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you are. You certainly seem to think you know better than anything he could know. You think you couldn't tell him and know why let him know what you're protecting him from?
So your proposition for how I keep my curious son from gaining more knowledge is to dangle him with part of the knowledge and then assume he'll stop, because he hasn't stopped so far. I was extremely impressed with his actions today. Honestly, this might be the most adult thing I've ever seen him do, is walking away.
Maybe that's true. I wasn't there. I don't even know what happened. And that's the whole point for me, as I'm lost in the dark here. And I've been in situation after situation. And I'm not upset directly with everything. With you, I'm upset. I don't know what the hell to do. So I'm sorry. I'm taking out some of my
I know.
life on you. But here's the thing. No, go ahead.
Quentin, son, if you're looking for a steady platform to put your feet on, I'm afraid you're not going to find one anywhere in the universe.
You can't find them. All right.
It's all quicksand everywhere.
Well, then I will make one for myself, right? That's the whole thing. It's what I'm trying to do, what I was hoping to do. Rebuild some shit. No, I don't know what's in front of me at this point, and I don't know what's in front of you, but I know that I don't know. You got to talk to him, and that's the best I can do. But you can't stay on this shit. I know that's likely, and Van-Vee is probably going where you're going. I guess since he's following your lead. We're gonna see what he does. I can't go where you're going because I got people to worry about.
You might be surprised. Sometimes you would be mesmerized at how the fates of people are interwoven, bonded even.
Let's see what shakes out.
He stands up and leaves the room. And MINERVA, at that point, you lose microphone access to the dinner table conference room area, and you get weird power fluctuations. Quentin, the door to the conference room shuts, and the lights begin to flicker before going off. And there are two red orbs that are like eyes sitting across from you that aren't illuminating anything. They appear to be giving off light, but it's not shining. Like, you're completely cast in total darkness. And you hear a voice say, "You're willing to pay any price? Certainty?"
Do I recognize the voice in any way, shape, or form?
No fucking clue what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm. There's no psionic activity specifically. This is just spooky action at a distance.
This is your psionic activity is off the charts right now.
Yeah, it's going nuts.
Pure metadimensional energy is sitting across the table from you.
So I've lost. I can't see or hear anything in the cafeteria.
Correct.
Outside of the cafeteria, nobody has left the cafeteria.
I mean, y'all just left the door. It closed behind him.
Okay. An emergency alert is sent to Van-Vee.
Whoop, whoop.
And it just says emergency in canteen. Respond immediately.
Yeah, your mom is sobbing in front of you.
Bodies,
Just holding your hand.
Waldo's, the box, and the sledge are headed in that direction.
Quentin does respond to this creature.
And I am locking the doors around y'all, so he's trapped wherever he is. And he has no access to panels.
Y'all is in the corridor outside of Sophie's room.
He's trapped in the corridor.
Gwen responds to the creature across from him and says, "There's plenty of prices I won't pay. And certainty, well, certainty is fleeting."
What is it that you want? Tell me in no uncertain terms.
I didn't ask you here. What do you want?
A pact.
How the hell did you? A pact.
You've got space for it.
Space. Okay. Yeah,
You've
well,
seen it. The Black Sun.
The Tenther? It's done more than seen it. Damn thing touched me.
You're one of us now.
Oh.
You just live on the other side.
Quentin probably touches his right eye at that point, also red, like the eye across the seat from him.
Says, oh no. What do you...
There's a price to be paid, but to be honest, it's worth it. Tell me what you want. I'll tell you my price and it'll be done.
Yeah. What I want?
I'm growing impatient.
I don't think you can give me what I want right now. I don't think you can bring people back from the dead. I don't think you can solve my current problems. What, you want to offer me power? I got power.
Who do you want back from the dead?
Quentin's mouth like goes dry when he says that. Like,
you better hurry. They're coming.
All he can say is you can do that.
The door opens. The lights are, by the time the door's even slightly cracked, everything in the room is back to normal. Lights on. It's just Quentin talking to himself. Minerva, your Waldos get in there. The door instantly opens as soon as you get just a little bit of a crack. Van-Vee, what are you doing? Are you leaving your mom?
Yeah, I think when he got the urgent message, he would have said, Dad's meeting the captain. Something's up. I'll be right back. I got to go, though. I'll be right back. And he's heading towards the cafeteria.
Your mom is telling you not to leave. You walk out the door.
Oh, come on.
Your dad physically body checks you and says, hold on. We should have a discussion. Your mom closes the door, locking you out of the room in the hallway with your dad.
Oh, goddamn.
Further down the hallway, you can see that Waldos are popping open the door to the dining room / conference room. Your dad is just like,
we need to have a discussion, but I need to save my captain. Don't move.
this is ridiculous. I thought you
I'll tell
placed
you
a
what's
priority on
you're
family.
fucking ridiculous, and I keep running away, just fucking angry.
You can't keep running away forever, Vandorn.
I think
He looks
as he's
so
running
guilty
away,
when he says that, though.
I think as I'm running away, like I'm drawing my pistol in case anything comes up out of the cafeteria. But at the same time, it's the first time the thought crosses his mind where he's like, I could just end this. That's crazy talk. He's my dad. And I just keep going.
Your dad is literally behind you while you're doing this. You can hear
but
him
he's
muttering to himself.
Yeah, but I'm not muttering. I could do this.
Okay. You body check the Waldo out of the way. So what Quentin sees is the door opens and then a crazed looking Van-Vee with a gun out.
Yeah,
appears
that's
in the
right. That's
doorway.
right.
Whoa. Hold up.
Cap, you all right? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What?
I'm normal.
Everything's
Minerva
up
said
with
there
you?
was a crisis in here.
Just talking to your dad.
Yeah, it's a crisis. Minerva, you gotta tell me the severity of the crisis. Conversation versus like guns blazing.
The captain had a conversation with your father, and when your father left the room, I lost systems in this room.
What? You lost systems. Well, run a diagnostic, Minerva. Jeez.
Minerva, the lights.
He's not
electrical
translating that.
something.
This was an
System
anomalous
glitch.
system failure.
That's fair.
What do you say? Cap, were you all right? Is anything happening here?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right.
I'm fine.
I feel like, God, my head hurts. I can't only imagine how your guys' head feels. I don't even want to know what shit I caused for you guys. I apologize. But I do feel like the three of us need to have a conversation. Which, by the way, I feel my mom might be right back. She's crying.
Take
My
her
dad's
over.
trying to talk to me too. Shit. And he's in the hallway right behind me.
Van-Vee, go take care of what you got to take care of and then get back here. Because, yeah, we got to find out what the next move is. All I know right now is that, we're persona non grata with previously one of our main allies. So we got a lot to do.
Yes, Cap. I think I'll probably pull a 180, go right back into the corridor.
Okay, your dad's still standing there waiting for you.
I guess I'll wait for the door to close. So it's just the captain and Minerva. Captain,
How you doing, Minerva?
what happened?
Oh, I think you know. Had a bit of a visitor. Don't want to trouble Van-Vee. He's got enough on his plate.
I understand. And I've told him nothing.
That's fair.
Being unable to determine your level of safety meant that I wanted the maximum response.
I
hope you
appreciate it.
understand.
I do.
But it does make it difficult to look out for you if I cannot see you.
Can't help you there, Minerva. Electronics, they got their limits.
It was no choice of yours.
Not this time. That one's new.
It's a concerning development.
A little bit. He touches his eye, or again.
I won't say things that I've already said, but I do worry for you.
Some doors you open, I don't think you can shut, Minerva. That's something I think you know. Yeah.
I agree. But we always have choice.
On display today. That's for sure. Choices. You could bring somebody back from the dead, Minerva. What would you give up?
It's not our choice to decide when people die or what happens to them afterwards. I certainly wouldn't want to rob somebody of paradise if I thought they were there.
That's a notion.
I do believe that those who live good lives will have good afterlife. The struggle we have here determines our character when it's our time to die.
You got a very interesting perspective, Minerva. I definitely appreciate it.
It's an evolving one. And you have had some influence on it.
Thank you. Hopefully it's a good. Oh. Quentin's pouring himself a drink at that, like as that's happening. Yeah. Takes a sip. It's going to be a bumpy road here.
Significant setbacks. I don't know if all of them have occurred yet or not.
Got to find an alternative way to get your ship back. I think Finana's their only shot now.
I agree.
All right.
Time will tell if we still have a pilot and navigator.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what the next little while looks like. Where are we headed right now?
I've got us parked outside of restricted space.
All right. Anybody approaching?
As long as we stay outside of the controlled space of Midapile, I don't see anybody on approach and don't anticipate any at this moment.
Hold on. You are still being shadowed by the torpedo cruiser Indefatigable.
Okay. I think man, we had Carlito on the list here. He's on our way out the system. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to chat with him, but we've at least got to send the man a message.
If you'd like, I can head in that direction.
Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to start drifting that way.
I'll change course. Or I'll set a course anyways. See if maybe at some point we can explain ourselves to Carlito.
You know.
We cutting over to Van-Vee?
I think so.
Okay. In the corridor, your dad stands in front of you. He looks tired now, and he says, "Today, you've heard a lot of names. You've heard a lot of terms. Don't ask questions. It's better for everybody if you don't know."
You don't give me any answers, then everything I did was for naught. And we have put everyone here in danger. Based on what?
Like, hands
I need
on
more.
each of your shoulders and shakes you, and he says, "No. If I don't give you answers, I am keeping everyone safe."
You are doing the opposite of keeping us safe.
Your mother is so dangerous. She cannot ever be allowed to leave. That is more information than I have ever given you. So
You're
no,
right. It
that
is.
you have pulled that out of me. You will not get anything else. And if you are a very wise man, you will stop asking questions.
I feel like if you were a better father, you'd not have to have me ask so many questions.
That is so deeply hurtful to him. It is actually devastating as the color drains from what looks to be an older version of your face.
Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if I made the right choice following you. I thought I did, but every time my crew's on danger, you know, you keep saying my mother, Grace, who I've never met. Honestly, Sophie is my mom right now, and she's a wreck in there because of you, because of me. Everyone I love in this world is in danger right now because of you and because of me as an accomplice to you. And I don't know I made the right choice right now.
So he has his hand up like this and is up against a bulkhead and starts laughing uncontrollably. And he says, "Sophie's your real mom now? So when you left home over a decade ago, breaking her heart, saying that you were looking for your real mom, Grace Vantis, you changed your name, you wandered across the known galaxy, gallivanting, destroying your family. You couldn't even forget calling me. You couldn't call your brother or sister. You couldn't even call her your stepmom. You just called her Sophie all the time. And now it's all Sophie's my real mom."
She's more of a mom to me than you are a father to me. feel like he's got like two fists. Like he's ready. Like depending on what the next order, he's probably ready to try to punch him in the face. No, they'd backfire terribly. I am trying to do the best I can, keeping everyone safe. And it feels like every choice I make, going towards your corner, believing in you, hurts everyone else. And I'm trying to figure out why I should keep following you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Come with me. And he starts moving towards the back of the ship.
I will follow him, but I'm making it very clear I have communication devices on so Minerva can hear me. There we go again. Minerva?
You get like an affirmation ding.
As you're back here, he moves into the cargo bay. He's like looking at your hyperboat, and he's like, well, it looks like it's only a one-seater, but we can probably get up there. I'm actually pretty curious. You mind if I take a look while I explain some things?
What does he mean by that? Like get in and pilot it?
He just wants to like look at the engine and like
like tinker?
Just take a look at the ship.
Would I know if there's any risk of him trying to cause like an explosion with it?
I mean, if you turn it on, it'd start doing what it's supposed to do.
Is there like it sounds so stupid, but you know how like sniper rifles is like a pin you can pull so that the whole thing becomes useless? An equivalent
You mean the firing pin? You're specifically talking about the firing pin.
But something equivalent on this.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably a safety you could turn off.
All right. I'd like to activate that so he can't do anything completely destructive. And I make sure he knows I'm doing it to show up my little trust in him right now.
When he sees you do that, he walks up and puts a hand on your shoulder and says, I wish you hadn't done that. Because now I think everyone on the ship has to die. Then he pulls your gun and begins shooting at the hull.
As soon as he pulls my gun, I'm combat grappling.
Initiative. Let's roll.
Man.
I am so glad I thought to pull that pin. What button is initiative in this thing?
It's 1d8 plus actually, is it even?
I don't see a button on the sheet.
I don't think there is a button.
Oh. God, I should have shot him. I was trying to figure out a reason to shoot him.
Let's see.
For the record, earlier, my idea before Quentin had his intervention was I was literally going to ask Quentin to touch him, teleport outside in space, and then you teleport back alone.
No.
Jeez.
I can't technically do that.
I mean, he was about to teleport both of you outside by turning the boat on so that both of you would be dead.
Wow.
So
What a
how
son of
do
a bitch.
I roll initiative?
Oh, you don't need to worry about rolling it. This is going to be resolved between the two of them long
This is
before
going to
you
be a
need to
very
get
quick
involved.
battle one way or the other. But you're going to know the answer.
If he gets his hands on this gun and begins firing through the hull, you guys are real fucked. Well, unfortunately, he rolled a 1, which means he has an initiative of 2. So all you need to do is beat a 2 on a 1d8 plus your dex.
D8 plus dex, which is a 1.
God, it's so weird. You and him have the exact same stats. That's crazy. Okay.
One of us has better dice rolling luck.
He goes
I'll just
for
go ahead
the
and
gun
jinx it right off
as
the
he's
bat.
explaining, the problem. He goes for the gun. You get your hand on it first and get it free before he can get a hand on it. What do you do? He basically freezes. Like inches away from the gun, he's aware that he's lost. And actually, this isn't the first time you've seen him today basically immediately surrender as soon as it's clear he's lost.
You know, I'm going to shoot him. He just tried to put he was going for the gun. I don't know his intention was to shoot the hole, but he did say everyone on the ship has to die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shoot him. And I have the close combatant feat, which I think does something about getting rid of melee, range weapons, melee without suffering from proximity of melee attackers. Yeah. So I ignore whatever that penalty would be.
Yeah. It's a great situation for you.
Yeah, so I'm going to shoot him.
Okay.
So if you want to use your fighter ability, do you have that? Do you
Fire ability?
Do you have the
As a quick action? No.
As a half and half, can you do the choose to hit, choose to not get hit thing? Or do you only get the hit points?
Think so. No, I think he gets the bonus and like the weapon feat thing, but doesn't get the choose to hit.
Okay.
I'm not sure what do you mean choose to hit? Oh, like the expert thing where you choose to pass a test type thing. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that.
Okay.
AC 10.
Skill set.
If it is a energy weapon, it gets a +1 to hit. If you're firing it in bursts, it gets a +3 to hit.
God, what do you shoot in burst?
I don't know if your weapon is capable of burst. You're still using a pistol,
I don't think
right?
the laser pistol can.
Yeah, I don't think the laser pistol gets burst.
All right, then it's a laser, so +1 you said.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now look, I know that has a certain number for damage, but what I actually want to have happen is your mom exits the corridor.
Oh, come on.
Turns to look towards the two of you struggling over a gun. Then, fully disarmed, your father at your mercy, you completely passionately shoot him in the leg. And just like the first guy you killed, the laser goes through him and the rest of his body just gets like slowly ashed as you kill your father, with your mom watching.
Oh, boy.
And MINERVA watching, of course. Quentin, you feel something pass through the air, like ionization. There's a smell to it as well, and the sound, of course, of like a harsh Cthulhu. Not like a pew 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 pew, but like a bzzz that you've come to associate with Van-Vee shooting people for sure.
All three times.
Up and moving down that hallway.
And just more and more people. Dr. Fish, Iono, Louie. People are piling into the cargo bay as what little remains of your father falls to the ground under the force of gravity, with you with the gun standing over it. And I feel like, because I'm a real bastard, that's where we're going to end this episode. Hey guys, did this go the way you thought it would?
No.
Totally.
No, so from arrival of the planet to leaving the planet, I thought he was going to go visit his father, talk to him through pick up the phones and talk through the glass type thing.
The classic.
Get no answers, get frustrated and try to, find a way to get through the law. And that I was going to get lectured about our organization taking money off world.
Yep.
And then we were all going to go to the station.
That conversation didn't even happen because you got ejected from the world before that conversation happened.
Yeah.
Because Bryce literally said, I'll give you a few minutes to read our proposal.
Did we even figure out the thing that we forgot that you mentioned last time?
It was the Quantum Museum.
Okay. All right. I was like, in everything that happened, did we even think of the thing that we forgot? Oh, goodness.
So let's look at goals and see how we turned out for the episode.
I got none.
I do need to make some.
Can I redefine safety?
I do need to make some changes. Van-Vee, your find your mother goal is now difficulty 30.
Jesus Christ.
MINERVA, your get enough resources for a multi-system organization is now difficulty 20. Hey, Quentin, you get 1 for meeting with Bryce. Van-Vee, you work towards getting your entire family to safety, so I'll give you an XP there.
I don't think I get that one. I intended to be popping back and forth between this meeting and hanging with Iono.
I think you tried to do it though.
I did.
Definitely tried,
I
and
wanted to.
That's good enough for a short term.
Right, I'll take.
You just
You
have to
smoothed
try.
out that paper real good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, MINERVA. I for some reason I thought that the quantum your core was on the ship, but if you're saying it was on the box, then I should not have given you.
I don't think you've had time to
given you the
look
ability
at
to
it.
take this.
So the core is on the ship, but once I hit level 7, I think, I learned how to spend a processing point to defeat quantum ECM.
Okay. All right. So you reconnected. It's not that the box had the core in it. It's just that you reconnected.
I lost
to it
contact with the core, and
All right,
then I
that
spent
was
the
not how
processing
mine.
point to
So yeah,
reestablish.
so go ahead and take 1 for go to the meeting. And no one gets any XP for get Carlito as an ally because you made absolutely 0. In no way did anyone progress toward
We
it in
started
this
going there.
wild
Started
thing.
flying that way?
No,
How dare you,
under
sir?
no circumstances will I
We
allow
made
that. It
very
wouldn't even be the
specific,
first time in
concrete,
this system
if
where you
quite discreet
decided to go towards him and
progress.
then ignored him.
Oh my god.
Oh boy!
I'm counting it. It counts for me. I feel like we made progress. I feel good about it.
No, under
No,
no,
it's that
in no way.
I'm not getting an experience point. I'm gonna feel good about it, though.
Do you feel
can't
good
stop
about
me.
anything from this episode?
That was terrible. We
Everything
No, it was
I did
very
that fucked us
dramatic.
over is now for naught.
It was very
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
it is interesting. MINERVA and you both, and Van-Vee have both now had opportunities with things in front of them with essentially treasure troves of information, and have not gotten to open those.
It didn't feel like
that box.
a right
Not gotten to
thing.
see
It
those
didn't
cards.
feel right. I don't know. I hate that.
Mysteries abound.
Can you just MINERVA rewind time before that decision? It's still the session, right? That was all a simulation.
It's the last 10 seconds.
You could
listen. If you want to commit the processing point, we can start the next session with a moment before he goes for the gun.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'll allow
oh
it.
my god.
You have a
That's all
whole
up to
week or
Dunamis. He
more
gets
to
to
think
pick.
about
Yeah.
that.
You know he wants to because he wants his damn ship.
Well, it doesn't change anything
How
for Minerva.
does your
It changes
dad
things
being
for
alive
you.
or
Yeah,
dead?
that's all for you. That's like,
There are
and
some
well,
ships here that have already sailed.
a little for Quentin, although.
Gracious. I was joking. Now I wish I didn't say it.
Well, now that cursed box can't be unopened. Now Kain has a whole week to think about whether or not he wants to reverse you murdering your father in front of everyone you know.
I mean, that is what
Crazy
the
how
TV
everyone
show would
opened the
do.
door at
Just
the
so we're
same
clear,
time.
the TV show
Yeah, it's
version
crazy
of
how
this
people hear a
does it that
gunshot.
way. Like where it ends with the episode of the hallway full of shocked, horrified people, and then we cut to the next episode, and it's the zoom out of MINERVA being like, "Don't let him go see his father."
I mean, there's not.
I know, we're past that. I
That's
just mean-
way too long.
Just start with don't.
The
take
rewind is
shot.
I leave the firing pin in, and him and I go out and die.
Oh, geez.
Get him in there.
I can't
Don't
go
do
back.
it.
I can't go
Don't
back.
do
that far. No, the best I could do is you've got the gun out and you hear, "Don't take the shot."
Yeah.
And
It specified
I guess
you
I have a
left the
week to
comms
think
open.
if I want to do that or not.
Yeah, we'll find out. Man,
For the record,
that was a big move, though.
I mean, just be clear, you would have to have a pretty damn good case to say not take the shot when he just said, "It's unfortunate you did that. Now everyone here has to die." Like, I don't know how you argue that.
at the very least, you hesitating to shoot him will change the future in some way.
That's true. That's true. This hesitation, that could be enough. Like I missed the first round of initiative or something.
I mean, MINERVA will occasionally inform you of things, right? Or ask your thoughts or opinions on things, but very, very rarely does MINERVA tell you to do something.
That's true. That would be.
It's
different.
very rare.
It is. It is. Well, I, the player, pick up on it. I don't know if Van-Vee would with his noble snobbiness. He might.
I mean, the captain picked up on it.
There were so many times in this episode.
Come back to the ship.
Roll.
Teleport does not get insta-killed.
Instead, Van-Vee gets sniped off the dome.
I mean, it didn't kill you.
There were so many times in this session I wanted to roll mental saves, but I was like, I don't know which one would do what. Let's just see where it goes. Let's see where
what would success be?
I know. Yeah. So I was like, success with the player would want, what the character would want. Oh boy.
Well, we get to go home and rethink our lives.
And we are just cursed. We have to overthrow Midipile. We have no choice.
Wait, what?
We have to.
Now they've become sandbox players.
Yes. Can we finally invest in the Psionic assassins?
So it begins. God. They have made a dangerous enemy this day.
Oh my god.
Fun.
I think it's really you guys have made a dangerous enemy this day.
Every day, literally. Feels like. No, this is a big one. Where Midipile is now gunning.
I feel like Carlito's sitting there going, you know, when I met these guys, they were scared of me. Now I'm scared the shit out of them.
I'm like scared to associate with us, probably.
Yeah, they're so unpredictable. I don't want anything to do with them.
We'd show up to that meeting. He'd be like, "Why are you here? You should leave."
I don't know. There are things that I'm curious to see if the government of Midipile does or doesn't do, and time will tell us what they do and don't do.
I cannot imagine being an audience member for this show and watching both Kain and KainDamael sit, as you've said, treasure troves of information and backstory and
I just want
exposition and just walk away from it both times. There's this ominous secret society with it's clear that they have their own individual terminology, lifelong relationships, and you're like, I'm gonna go with my dad. He'll finally tell me those secrets.
Then he tries to kill you.
I felt like it was the right thing to do at the time with RP.
It does feel like the right thing to do, doesn't it?
I hated it. Don't get me wrong.
Your dad has been
I'll be reaching out to people in the Circle of 8, probably not getting through next time, but I'll try. Starting with Chula, because she seems cool. Just
yeah, you have her phone number?
No.
I don't know how you imagine that you're going to get her phone number.
Yeah, they've got a 411, right?
Got a connect skill.
It's a 411 you don't have access to anymore because you're not a citizen of the planet and you've been banished.
Well, Sophie might.
Sure. Yeah, listen. Asking your mom for help on your homework is a real rite of passage. Yeah.
Oh,
Mom,
boy.
I want to talk to a girl. Can you call her for me? I don't have her phone number.
Jesus.
Do you know her parents?
I can only imagine like what Quentin's thinking right now, because all he knows is, right, like
He almost had everything.
Van-Vee fucked everything over for his dad. He comes on the ship with his dad, and then he shoots his dad. He's like,
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting trying to like doing things as MINERVA, because I'm mindful of the fact that MINERVA is a thinking, feeling thing like anyone else. But MINERVA has, not at the speed of speech, but at the speed of MINERVA's ability to think, able to process like all the stages of grief over this spike drive like in a moment.
But what's amazing is that The thing is, you still think your processing level is still 1 unless you're in the box. So you still think at human speed, you just have dozens and hundreds of different minds to think them. You don't think fast unless you're in the box with its processor. You just think a lot. They're all going through grief at the same time.
Yeah. Do you remember how many me's did I? Because I am fully processed. It's like 6,500 or something. MINERVAs are all.
Did you say it was like
grieving in unison?
Yeah, they're all screaming Van-Vee at the same time, while the other half are going.
There's like a mental landscape of like an auditorium with like drinks set up on the side, and it's just like a grief and counseling session with MINERVA and MINERVA.
For sure.
Listen,
refreshments.
I hate to go anime all the time, but I want to imagine it's like Naruto Shippuden, where Naruto is doing his clone training, and it's just a field full of Narutos beating each other up so they can learn what beating each other up is like. And so it's just hundreds of Narutos in one-on-one fights while Jiraiya's like, yeah, that's right. This is how we accelerate your training. Beat the shit out of yourself.
Man. The sound theory.
And it is funny how this session has uniquely torpedoed the long-term goals of all 3 people.
Everything.
Yeah.
Actually, Quentin's long-term goal was completely unaffected in any way.
It's still very doable. We just have to leave to go do it.
Yeah.
Like and there was a brief moment where I was like, yeah, we can just do this thing here, and then we'll go and we'll go do the thing.
Listen, you're in a kind of situation where you can no longer bring the mountain to Muhammad. You're gonna have to go to the mountain. All right, that's all there is to it.
Yep.
Only Van-Vee was.
And anybody else that we ask for help for your people or the organization are, depending on what Metapile does, it may or may not have to contend with the fact that associating with us isn't favorable to Metapile.
Right. Yeah. I mean, technically, it's going to be a.
We don't have an alliance, but we certainly built an enemy.
Yeah, it's going to be a debacle.
Yeah.
If Van-Vee was more badass, he totally, like, as Quentin walked in, he totally would have, like, I fixed the life support problem.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's a good one-liner. It is.
Yeah,
picturing like the guy.
You
from
still have
Dune
an opportunity to drop it next episode.
Just as the Doom music plays.
Just like it sees your mom look at the pistol where the end of it's still warm from the laser. Just look over. I made a choice.
Do you believe him now, Mom? I will note. I still haven't charged that clip yet. 5 shots, 4 kills.
Oh, jeez. Isn't it also 5 hits?
5 hits. Yeah, I mean, to miss.
100% accuracy.
Jeez. Yeah. You're very cost effective.
Killer.
Especially when it's laser and I could recharge it just by plugging it in.
Yeah. It's a battery. It's literally just a battery.
At this point, if I haven't plugged it in, you think it would just like discharge over time.
Chat says, guess you're winning the divorce. And wow, I mean, it's going to be hard to say that she's not going to take everything.
You're welcome. I don't know what to say.
We'll see. Listen, there's a whole. Will it have happened? We don't know. Kain needs to make a decision next episode.
If you rewind it,
you could just ignore Kain and do the same thing. I wouldn't even make you re-roll. If you want to, events could just play out in the exact same manner.
It would be funny if you make you rewind it. I add the hesitation or something, and Van-Vee's the one that's dead. I'd just be like, why did you do the reroll? Why would
that would be it?
This?
I'd have no more points. Plus, I can only use it once per scene, anyways. So
yeah.
I'm certainly not going to make a decision right now because people get to wait a week for that.
Perfect.
I think my favorite
save a life, guys.
My favorite note I took.
Oh my gosh!
This session is Circle of 8, Bryced over Cullinger Jr. - Fat Thor.
Yep.
I don't want to say my favorite note, but I did have a moment where I was like, yes, drag, delete. And my notepad.
And goodbye, all of my plans.
I just had a huge military Maskarovka deception
I know.
operation.
I was
pirate
excited.
Hunting.
I was
All
excited.
of those military units, they had captains and admirals attached. They had, if you had asked, they all had like unit names, like or like unit mottos, like delivering excellence for the colliers.
Oh my god.
Just in case Kain wanted to really get into the nitty gritty of how the operation will be executed. Don't worry, I won't be needing that.
So pumped.
But also excited. We get a whole new, like, crazy way to get there.
I have been accused of sticking too much to the RP, and this might be the new cake of when I do that.
No, I think you can't stick too much to it in this type of game or scenario. Like, yeah, definitely don't second guess your choice. Don't feel like you made the wrong one. You made the right one in the moment for you. Like, and it's
now
going to be a lot of
for
fun.
the cards.
I know.
Listen, you have an opportunity.
I want to save and reload.
Kill your father, or not kill your father, and call back down to the planet and desperately hope any of the members of the Circle of Eight are listening and beg them to take you back. And maybe they can undo the catastrophic chain of events that's already been put into place.
All right.
Just
out of
throw yourself
curiosity.
on their mercy, because they seem pretty merciful, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's just out of like
That's normal.
Because if there's one thing you want for a secret society member, it's for someone to walk away and then immediately
good.
flip-flop.
just a practice talk roll just to see how that would go. No, we're good.
You rolled a 1. Don't you get to reroll once?
Diplomacy.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, reroll.
This is my curse. This is my curse.
Keep going.
The sex, it's
Oh
literally,
my God.
if you were doing
The
the
worst
easiest thing
roll.
possible, you could succeed on a 6.
A 6 would succeed. That's the worst I
Yeah,
could
if
roll.
it was
with.
the easiest task possible,
Okay.
a 6 would succeed.
Maybe sending a pleading message with like a copy of the ash pile and the security footage
Right,
of your
like-
father dying. Like, this is how committed I am to unfucking
Oh,
this.
I can still do that anyways. We don't need to rewind for that. The only reason to rewind to me is if somehow Van-Vee knew what he just told Quentin, which he doesn't know, that he has some piece of information that no one else knows. Therefore,
Yeah. From Quentin's
Ash pile.
perspective, he did have a conversation with your dad and basically be like, the fact that you have told him nothing is like the whole reason this has gotten, cracked open. You should tell him things.
And his immediate answer was no, absolutely not. Under
I know,
no
I know.
circumstances.
Oh, no, I'm well aware
The
of that.
fate of the universe relies on me saying no.
Exactly. That is his, yeah. But and Van-Vee just kills him.
A man who's
That's
lived for
beautiful.
hundreds of years came to the conclusion that the only way to move forward in his life was to kill himself and his son and his wife and everyone they knew
Yeah.
in order to protect the universe.
I feel like you're just setting this up for the universe dies later. It's all Van-Vee's fault.
Listen,
I don't think. I
No,
think
I'm
like-
not
we're
the
going
one
to end the
escalating
universe.
these situations here.
Quentin
If we're
legitimately
going to be
believes
responsible
y'all.
for ending the universe, we don't need AP's help.
Yes, it's true. We'll find a way. I mean, there's a jump gate buried on a planet somewhere that we could go think about. Minerva knows about. I'm sure that could end something.
Minerva knows about it, but so does Iona and Finana.
True. Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's. I guess
Iona
that's true.
knows,
Yeah,
and anything Iona knows, we can assume she's
Yeah, that's
telling
true.
Finana.
Very true.
I will say it
Either way.
is being on your show's AP that has made me think maybe I should look for the firing pin equivalent of whatever this thing is.
Hey,
Because
listen,
normally I would
that
never
was
do
a
that.
great plan on your part.
Seriously prescient.
Like,
Like,
He
saved
absolutely
your
was going
life.
to activate it so that you would fly. The ship would just, your small pleasure craft would randomly lurch in quantum directions outside of the hull eventually, and the two of you would be dead.
I need a new character. And instead, he almost killed everyone. Jesus.
He still could, depending on
Yeah.
how the start of next episode goes, depending on decisions that are made.
See, now, if only he had just told me, maybe I would have let him do it. Who knows? But
He told you everything he was going to tell you repeatedly, on no uncertain terms.
like if I let him take the ship and he was going to jump out.
Quentin currently has two sources of information that have told him that Van-Vee is involved at the very center of a potential decision that he could make or thing that he could do that could be catastrophic for the galaxy. So he definitely believes y'all in some fashion. Whether that
I mean,
he
if you
would
believe
support
that,
it.
you also believe that y'all is equally capable of such a thing.
That's what
I
he
wouldn't
asked
put-
him, right? Like
I
he
wouldn't put
literally,
a huge, like, don't put a bigger importance on
Van-Vee.
Van-Vee. Yeah,
That's fair.
I mean, all
The
you
Circle
need
of
to
Eight
do
could
is
do
to
it.
get
Oh, the
y'all
Circle
to
of
change
Eight
his
could do it.
mind.
Anyone on the Circle of Eight.
No one has made any rolls to convince y'all in any direction about this in quite a while.
Suppose that's fair.
I made a
I
roll.
mean, I said things to him. I don't
Oh, yeah,
know.
well, yes. Yeah. Sure, I don't know that you convinced him of anything. You
This is true.
you caused him to cease convincing altogether.
There we go.
There's still time, Van-Vee. About 10 seconds of it.
All right, let's script out an entire 10-second dialogue, and then I'll just shoot him anyways.
Jesus.
The ultimate villain speech.
Right? Like,
Just to give you the maximum time for your micro monologue. The only thing you get is like it rewinds, and all you hear is Minerva say, "Don't," and the rest of that 10 seconds is yours to monologue and shoot.
all you hear is the Charlie Brown teacher, wah, 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 for 10 seconds.
Oh my god.
Funny. What
You
an
know.
episode.
If someone had told me at the start of this episode that this is how it would turn out, I would not have believed it.
It wouldn't shock me if James tried to predict it. With the amount of chaos he says I bring to Blood Bowl, I feel like he just throws it at me. Chaos. Whatever you can do, chaos.
yeah. You did a good job.
I mean, we did leave you alone to chaos.
This is your fault.
I thought this was the safest scenario. Going to secure government facility. Clearly, they'll have it under control. I thought wrong.
I can't wait till we go to the next planet and Van-Vee's like, I'm just going to go take a piss in the woods. And everyone's like, no, no, no.
Buddy system. Buddy system.
Put one of those backpacks on you that's got the leash that people put on their toddlers.
The monkey backpacks.
No, we make the sledge walk you into the forest.
Oh my God.
We put you in a papoose on the front of the sledge.
Oh my God.
It's going to be fun. Well, we've got a reason to go to Hold. A couple extra reasons now, so, you know.
If Sophie tells people that.
That's true. I'm pretty sure that's where Quentin's sister is, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, she is in the
Yeah.
hold system. I like how you think that you're going to leave.
I have no idea what's going to happen. Come on, we're never going to get anywhere now. Like we're just going to get swarmed by military ships because we're going to make one extra bad decision.
You've already made that extra bad decision. That ship
No,
has
but they're not
sailed.
shooting yet, baby.
What we don't know is their torpedo has fired.
That's that's what he's telling us.
You would absolutely know if that happened. Would you be able to avoid it? Probably not, but you'd know it was coming.
Oh man, you know what the ultimate villain move would be? I don't know. I only thought it because I was scrolling up and reading my notes. As the body disintegrates, he picks up the ring and puts it on.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
That would be bad.
Oh, my
Your dad's
God.
not wearing his ring, though.
Okay. Oh well, that would be pretty
It's
good.
in a case on Poster
It's
01.
in a case. He doesn't wear it regularly. You may have noticed he doesn't really hang out with the Circle of Eight very much.
Yes, just a
Given
little
the
bit.
fact that they hauled him in.
Just a little bit.
Feel like I'm not spoiling or ruining any backstory by indicating that he and they may not have the same goals.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But we do have some information we could give to Fanana if we really wanted to start this war.
Boy, if you listen, oh my god, if you betray Midapile and give that information to Fanana, you will 100% start a war.
Yeah.
I've seen you guys
Yeah.
unintentionally cause problems.
Now watch us
That is
intentionally
an
do it.
intentional problem.
That was the intent.
Okay. Okay.
Not that I'm
well,
saying we're actually going to do this, just so we're clear. That's the joke was.
I mean,
Goodness.
you guys are now a security concern. Whole operations are going to have to change.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it. Like, yeah, you know, Kain has
There's
said,
only one way
the
back.
big question is how hard they go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they made it pretty clear that all of our agreements were off.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But if they actually like fight us, that's a different world.
They don't
Yeah.
have to chase us with ships to absolutely destroy us.
True.
They really don't.
I mean, we can just dangle in the wind.
That is probably the most annoying way for us to go. If no one can reach us, catch up to us, or shoot us, but we can't jump. We run out of oxygen and fuel. We just basically, what's it called when you surround a castle? Basically, they're doing that.
Siege.
Yeah, they're just sieging us by letting us float around without actually docking.
Season 3 is 50 years in the future when 2 other people find the Golden Goose floating in space and Minerva's on board. Like, oh thank God! Maybe
You
it's been
wouldn't
long enough
believe
no
what
one
I've
gives
been
a shit.
through.
Humans, so unreliable.
Oh my God.
Hey, there's a surgical suite in the back. You should install some stuff real quick. I've learned a few things.
Yikes.
I'm still really looking forward to hearing back from Barry. Oh boy.
I like that you still have optimism after everything that happened today.
Yeah.
I have to have some optimism.
Listen, I feel really bad that there are so many storylines that got crushed today. I had no idea that this is how we were going to do it, but
Hill, you're welcome.
hey, listen, there's always a way back. 10 seconds. There's always a way back 10 seconds.
And I
Just
can
like
still send him a
Galaxy
NAS
Quest.
jar just like now. How many Prince of Persia rewinds do we have? Just the one.
Just one.
Use it wisely.
I was
What
talking
have
on
been-
intro hour that I thought Prince of Persia and Fire Emblem had some of the best. I mean, the ability to just rewind when you fuck up really badly, just so that you're not like, all right, I gotta go reload the save and start
Yeah.
the Aladdin's cave all the way from the beginning because I got burned by the lava.
Yeah.
I didn't double jump when I meant to.
Yeah.
It would have been really funny if,
Blow
as
myself.
Van-Vee chose to follow his dad and leave the room, that was a simulation. So Minerva knew in that moment, nope, rewind. That's going to cost me my ship. Stay.
You were in the bay longer than 10 seconds, my friend.
No, I know. That would have made it all the funnier if, like, somehow externally
You just keep
Minerva's
looping
like,
back before
Yeah.
the door. You're like, why can't they leave?
why can't I leave? I feel like somehow.
Oh, that'd be really weird if you like. Can you imagine if there was some sensation of what didn't happen and it's confusing? Quentin's head exploding, and then he's like, "Oh my god, it's got a
Oh.
migraine." As he teleports back to the ship.
I know that Critical Role isn't the most popular thing on my channel, but in Exandria Unlimited Calamity, there is someone who does something and then rewinds time and does the other thing. And the audience loses their mind because they're like, I'm crying right now that just happened. I can't believe he did the one thing and then he did the other thing.
Wow.
Sometimes, yeah, that's the right thing.
Question was it premeditated?
All right. Any closing thoughts before we wrap up this zany episode?
I have no thoughts. I have none.
It's going to take a
All
week
of them
to
are out the
review
window.
once.
I'll need to find
Yeah.
some. Yeah.
Hey, look,
I just-
I'm just gonna dangle this in front of you. If Van-Vee can somehow rejoin the Circle of Eight, you may be able to undo some of the damage so far.
Yeah. At this point, I'm trying to figure out who of the group I just met would be most receptive to receiving a call.
You have all their names written down, right? Because you remember all.
That I did write down, although my notes are probably not. I missed Ivan's last name, so it just says Ivan Dash. He says he's the most important.
Aramatea is what I wrote down.
Aramatea. Yep.
I wrote down Sybil.
I got Sybil.
But
Sybil
that's
was not
one of their
present there,
names.
though.
Sybil
That's not one
wasn't
of their
there.
names. I know
Sybil's the
that,
one
yeah.
that
Mhm.
I was like, who has the most Sybil in them? And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys cut that part.
Mm-hmm.
I like to make a habit of
so,
not
like,
taking
obviously-
notes on anything I'm not present for, so I don't accidentally know things I shouldn't know.
Yeah, definitely. You got to be careful, but man, it's like we know that y'all somehow created Van-Vee and his brother in some way. Like that's my,
Bryce
like,
Dover
the dust-
Collington Jr., Fat Thor, Pascal or Father Pascal J.
At least that was my takeaway from the dust levels. Like, the power levels you were talking about is that he had like
Power
given
levels
some
is
to you.
completely the totally wrong way to look at that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like I think it's like he had
That was
given
such-
some to Van-Vee, right? And like
And it was funny
yeah.
how it occurred to him when he
That
was
was great.
talking to
I
his
like-
mom
yeah.
and she was asking questions as he's over here having
So he's
his
a power
scouter
1 and a
conversation.
2.
I was like, yeah, so you're saying it's like I had a DBZ scanner. That's basically how he was trying to relate it. Ludemann Terra, and I think that was it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Chula Montera, Reverend Pascal Jaden, although he introduced himself as father. Bryce
Yeah.
Cullington Dover Jr., Ivan Aramatea, Sandeep Chopra, Dr. Yal Vantis, and mentioned were Grace and Sybil.
I, for some reason, didn't write Sandeep because I had him up above. Yeah.
Well, he's actually the member that, besides your father, that you've talked to the most, so that's
Yep.
a little weird.
Probably a good person to write down. And I specifically insulted him by not calling him a magistrate. Good.
Yep.
Sounds like someone that might pick up the phone call just to yell at me. That's all I need, someone to pick up the phone.
Silver tongue won't roll those ones.
I was going to say, you sound like you're in sales and marketing now. But all I need to do is get my foot in the door.
Just give me 3
Firm
seconds.
handshake. Look him in the eye. Elevator pitch.
Wait, what? Shoot, what's his season one of Dungeons and Daddies? Shake their hand, everyone you meet. Firm handshake.
Darryl Wilson.
Darryl Wilson.
Hi,
yes.
Darryl Wilson here.
So good, so good.
I'm at the part where they're negotiating with the witch, and
Oh
my
that's a
god,
good
they
part.
both
That's a good
groups
part.
betrayed each other, and I was just like, oh wow, it's so reminiscent of tonight's episode. Actually,
Oh my god. You're at a really good part.
everyone's
For
like,
sure.
wow, we're all really screwed, huh?
Oh man, I love that group's creativity. It's literally just sounds like they're telling a story, and every now and then they just roll dice for fun.
That's their game master is real loose
Generous.
on the mechanics.
Yeah. He's very generous.
I like having hold person work on a vampire. I was like, yeah, that's. I don't know that a second level spell can be used on a CR13 creature that's not human, but all right. I'll let him cook. Let him cook.
Has the bag of holding thing happened yet?
Yes, this is the
yeah.
post bag of holding thing.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, well,
That's
all
the
right, I guess
exact
that's when
situation I'm referring to.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Too funny.
Oh man. Well, I am going to say this is a game master because I think it would occur to you guys, but you probably haven't thought about it yet, but your characters would have. If nothing changes, you have no reason to believe Midapile isn't going to still just take the the Hosta.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
Okay, just
That
to
was
make
my
sure you
initial thought.
understand that
As soon as
I
we were
a
being
assumed
whole
it was
escorted-
series of
we're
military
screwed.
operations that will take
Yeah.
multiple jumps,
They're gonna do it
4
anyway.
task
Yeah.
groups.
As soon as
Yeah.
we were being escorted off planet, I was trying to gymnastics my way into moving the Hosta.
Yeah. We just have
A ship which explicitly can't be moved because it has no working parts.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a really, really big tractor beam.
It's larger than your ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's in a lot of trouble, and so are you. And time is ticking.
Next
You do
time
have the
on.
dates that they wrote down, right? So you know exactly when they're
I
going to
do.
arrive.
I do.
Assuming they don't
July 18th and
further
September 15th.
accelerate their timetable now that they know that they're deeply compromised.
Third Strike Squadron, Logistical Flotilla 37.
Yeah, see, I wasn't there, so I hadn't read any of that.
The 21st Logistical Support Group, unparalleled excellence.
All these people I was getting excited to meet, maybe.
It's funny how that sounded like a good thing at
771st
the
Marine
time.
Assault Regiment. Violence is the answer.
I was ready. I was like, we're going to get them to go and assault the other guy instead at some point. It's going to be great.
They even had someone pre-chosen to leak the information about the GoldenEye and heavy cruisers so that they could fire him and get out there in the world what the cover story was. All wrapped up with so that no one in the lower ranks would ever know what was really happening.
Not that I had any specific.
Listen, because I'm the one who came up with this plan, so I'm just like, I'm doing a victory lap for myself here. I'm like, this is brilliant. I've successfully carried out a military operation in my brain against myself. This is so good. I've
Let's see
covered
about
every
that.
eventuality.
No one will see this.
Not that I had a specific scenario in mind, but I was very deliberate way back when that I gave the external dimensions of the ship
Yes.
and nothing else.
Yes.
Because I was worried about should something happen, I did not want them to be able to duplicate the ship.
Right. They literally told you they cannot duplicate the ship, and they don't want to because they don't want the ship to be AI powered. What they needed was a way, like the structure of the ship. If they knew how the hull fit together, then they could fill it with whatever they needed. One of the biggest parts about ships is like just the exterior outside part and making that work. It's like that Brazilian submarine, or maybe it was Spanish, where it cost like $1 billion and it sunk immediately. Like it just went out and just sunk because they made it themselves and they didn't buy plans from any other country. We've also had submarines that sink when you flush a toilet. So, like, even knowing the outside structure is super crucial to being able to make a gigantic ass heavy cruiser series. So, like maybe they're not going to copy the weapon systems and they certainly can't make it work as efficiently as an AI ship, but they were clear that that was never the point. The point was they needed a giant empty box that would not fall apart the instant it went into space, and then they can put whatever they need in it.
Yeah.
It would certainly work a lot better if they had the whole ship, but they were looking forward to having the whole ship, actually.
Yeah. So I have taken some measures since the beginning of the game to try to limit somebody making a ship as dangerous as the Hosta. So
there's a full-on carrier out there. I don't know why you think that's
I think tentatively, we're friendly with this carrier. And I don't know. I
bet you thought you were
come up
friendly with the government of Midapile about 2 hours ago.
Sure. I just don't know how. I'm sure he could, but I don't know how Van-Vee could blow that up.
I don't think you need to rely on Van-Vee to destroy all of your
Give me a
hopes.
chance. Just give me a chance.
Yeah,
The rest of you are
back in
fully
that
capable of
interface.
doing that.
Yeah, believe me. Yeah. I could make that decision quickly.
We'll never know about.
I'm a little bit actually relieved because I'm sitting here trying to think, what is there a reason for Van-Vee to actually try to go so dark to kill his dad unprompted? And then you prompted it first, and I was like, all right, this takes care of that problem.
Ah, yes, justification for murder, right there. Thank you.
I was looking for you.
So I was like I had the idea of asking Quentin to do it, but Quentin would be like, well, "Why do you want to do this? There's got to be a better way to do it." And I'd be like, "God damn it, just do what I'm asking, man."
Wow, you sound a lot like your father.
Well, we have the same genes.
God damn it, just do what I'm asking. All problems with violence. That's so weird how alike you guys are. That's crazy.
That Vandorn portion shrank a little bit this episode.
Vandorn. It's been a while since we've seen that little scamp.
But I was glad that FD is a melee weapon. It can't be trusted because Vandorn might stop it.
All right. I'm going to call it here. Is everyone good for next week?
Good.
Double check.
Think so.
Yes, I'm good for next week.
And I just want to say, because I haven't said it, the 3rd Strike Squadron's motto is Her Majesty's Own. Because at this point, we may never get to know otherwise.
It's just Quentin really wanted to meet that princess someday.
Well,
I think we're going to have to kick in her for
He already had
front door
the
at this
law against him. Now it's a double. It's funny.
you know, like my closing thought is Van-Vee could still play his cards right if he wanted to.
Will we get to see those cards?
Hey, that's my
Next week.
question. I'm the one who doesn't know what his cards are right now. Because
I know.
next time he could flip them both over and they're still both jokers and he shoots his dad. You tell me. It's up to Dunamis to reveal his cards.
Can't
We'll
wait.
see that next time.